Heavy, help!
No!
Heavy Weapons Guy, the heart and soul of Team Fortress 2, as well as your team. Or at least that's what 90% of TF2 YouTubers say about Heavy. Look, I'm gonna be honest, get it right out of the gate. I'm not a Heavy player, and I don't particularly like this class too much. Again, that's my personal preference, but I do believe I should point out my personal biases before I get into a video talking about a certain weapon. Just know, I'm a person that loves movement. Heavy, rather sluggish. With that aside, when people play Heavy, what do you think of as a secondary? Most people that play Heavy nowadays will tell you it's the sandwich. And you see, the sandwich is just such a good item. It gives Heavy healing, you can heal medics and other teammates. So needless to say, the sandwich is a very go-to item for Heavy. But the shotgun is there, and it does have its upsides, you know, namely it being a weapon. And one that's instantly deployable, unlike the minigun. But the family business is what we're talking about. We're not just talking about guns in general. So I'll keep the sandwich out for most of it too, and just try to talk about the family business on its own until we get later into the video, and where I'll talk about the family business, where it stands with the rest of the shotguns, and then after that, how it ranks up between the sandwich. So, what makes the family business so different? Well, it's a shotgun that has a 33% extra clip, 15% faster firing speed, and 15% damage penalty. Now, you may be looking at that damage penalty and be thinking something like, oh, well, doesn't that make it kind of suck? Well, the attack speed kind of makes up for it. And if you miss a couple of your shots, it's a lot more forgiving than the normal shotgun. And 15% is kind of negligible in terms of a damage penalty because it also gives you extra attack speed. With this, effectively, you get the meltdown light classes, and things such as scouts become a little easier to deal with. Now that's great and all, but when should you be using the family business? Because this is not your kind of primary.
No!
What, Heavy?
New weapon!
Yeah, you can use it for Fat Scout.
No!
No, Fat Scout is...
No weapon is good!
It's a meme, okay? It's not serious.
No!
Fine, I'll talk about Fat Scouting.
Good!
Fat Scouting, if you don't already know, refers to when a Heavy player just does not want to use their minigun and uses their shotgun as their primary. And you may see in the footage in the background, I'm using the killing boxing gloves to get crits, which if you do this, it's a lot of fun. But just know that giving up your minigun is kind of stupid. Okay, did I make the Fat Scouts happy? Probably not. Okay, so when do you actually want to use this weapon? So you want to use this weapon when you're moving from position to position. As Heavy, you usually kind of anchor to one spot, gun someone down, and move up to the next place. Now, sometimes you can be ambushed by, let's say, a scout that's up in your face, and it takes too much time to rev up your gun. Swap to your shotgun and boom, boom, pow, you got them just like that. And you can show those pesky roamers where they belong, back in the respawn room. Now, I don't really have a fine art to this, because like I said before, I'm not a Heavy player, so I don't really know when to rev, when to not, when to use shotgun, so on and so forth. But that is the kind of mentality that you want to be in, where you're in a spot, you can hold, and then when you're moving, you hold out your shotgun because you never know what could happen. The shotgun should only be used in those emergency situations or when you're moving up. It shouldn't be your primary. You have a minigun. Don't hinder yourself unless if you're Fat Scouting. So how does this stack up against the other shotguns that Heavy has? You know, Heavy has stock and the panic attack. So let's go over advantages and disadvantages of each. Stock has the most reliability out of all the shotguns all around. The panic attack is good if there's a scout right in front of your face, but the family business gives you a little more leeway if you aren't as good with the normal shotgun, or if there so happens to be more than one target that's around you and you just can't switch back to your minigun. And I will say too that the family business with the Tomislav is a little redundant because the Tomislav allows you to rev faster, so the need of actually having to use a shotgun is quite mitigated. So you're better off just using a sandwich, which leads me to my next point: sandwiches. We all love a sandwich. We love a sandwich being thrown at us, and we love eating them. It's just the healing for heavy is way too good. Giving the tankiest class a way to heal himself up, you know, it's good. It's just good. Now, you can argue that this shotgun's better than the other sandwiches, but that doesn't matter when the normal sandwich is just there. It's just too good to afford, you know, to use a shotgun. Like, yes, you can use the family business to shoot some people, maybe if you get surprised, but if you just had a little extra health, you can afford that time to rev up and shoot them down. Like, you're the tankiest class. Just as long as you're not going in an open firefight, which even then a shotgun would not help you in, you're good. But if you pair this up with any of the other miniguns, and especially something like the Brass Beast, having a shotgun would actually help you quite a bit. So just remember, if you're going to be a shotgun heavy, just don't bother using the Tomislav. Use stock, because then you get the full advantages of being able to shoot up close and gun people down very fast with stock or Brass Beast, and have the maneuverability of a shotgun. So how do I rank this weapon? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being worst, 10 being best, I'd have to give this a solid 6. I mean, it does its job. Is it particularly fun? Yeah, a little. It's kind of fun, don't get me wrong, but I just can't shake the feeling of losing a sandwich. So that's why it's getting the rating that it is. Would I use it over stock? Probably. This has kind of opened me up that I like the family business a lot on heavy. As you can see by the, you know, the TR walkway footage in the background, that I quite enjoyed shooting the gun. It just feels satisfying. Faster shotgun shots are always going to feel satisfying. But yeah, if you want to know why exactly I rate things the way that I do, go ahead and watch the pyro video I talk about in the intro of the video. And yeah, so that's all for this one. But wait, do not leave. There's a little animation at the end, so stick around, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
Man, this place gives me the creeps. So, can I join the family business?
No!
You suck!